Hi, it's Sarah again. I had a little while to think, and I was like, I have some other things that I wanted to give strategies to you as far as for structuring your day and maybe kind of helping it move a little more smoothly. So something that might be helpful while you're working is maybe even setting a timer. So your child, especially if they're younger, they have a start and stop time that they know, like when the timer goes off, then I know that I'm done with my work for right now. And then you can set a timer for some break or drawing or crafting or coloring or music time to kind of help refresh. So using a timer is really a good idea. Also, in the school day, educators always have a schedule. So kids have a lot of predictability. It brings them a lot of safety. They know what to expect. So just like how I was talking about, sorry, that was my face, using the list, how we check off each day, we're checking off all the little things that we're doing. This essentially is a schedule. Now, not necessarily do we have to do each of these items first. It's just when they get accomplished, we put stars and tallies or check marks. Now, you could do a schedule where you have something first, we get dressed, we brush our teeth, and after each one of those things, your child checks them off. So just like a schedule throughout their school day. Reading, check. Then after we read, we listen to music, check. Then after music class, I do this. Some kids are really, really bound to their structure. Now it's good to remember to make them understand that being flexible in our thinking, sometimes we can't always have it exactly the way we're used to. But we're going to try to make it as similar as possible. So that's something that's really important, is definitely incorporating some type of routine and schedule depending on how your kiddo responds and how flexible their brain is. It's really great because, again, schools, predictability, safety, to have a particular place where you're storing your kids' work items, supplies, and that you have a place where that child is working and that they are going to go there every day to do their work. Now, some students, again, need transitions. There's a lot of transitions in our day. They go from this to this to this to this to this. So kids are going to probably need to transition a little bit still. And so for some, like my youngest, he's a very traditional student like I am. Can sit at the table. Here, I can even show you. He sits at the table. This is his work. His supplies are here. His colored pencils, his work, his folder where his work goes. It's very routine. He sits in the chair, he sits at the table, and that's where he does his work. And he leaves it there, and then he comes back after his transitions. Now, my oldest son, he is ADHD. So he struggles with focus. He struggles with, sitting in that traditional chair all the time. So that's okay if I allow him to go and read his social studies book on the couch where he can just kind of lay out more. Or I'll have him sometimes sit up on the bar stool instead of sitting in a traditional chair, or he'll stand at a higher bar level. So those are other ideas. You can also give your child a clipboard. They can work on a clipboard. Or, sorry about the messages. Another thing that's really good, you can have them take a clipboard and lay down or sit on the floor or chill up against the wall. They do that a lot in classrooms where they have things called flexible seating. So along with flexible seating, kids can stand at their tables. They might have a bouncy ball, like an exercise ball that they sit on. instead of that traditional sitting. Another idea for kids for focus and structure is to get a binder, which is like a slanted surface, and you can stick the work on the binder, and a kiddo can lay on their belly and work or read on their belly. I'm going to do another video here pretty soon where I'm going to talk more about sensory integration, and I'll talk a little bit more about those alternative types of sensory stimulation in regards to full body and fine motor. So back to structuring and routines. Make sure you have all your supplies ready in the morning, your pencils sharpened, just like they do at school. Have your crayons ready, your colored pencils ready, so you're not rushing around to get all of those things. Be prepared as possible. So a lot of you guys have more than one kiddo. I do too. I have a 3rd grader and a 2nd grader. Now, again, I told you my oldest is ADHD. So we are on opposite kinds of schedules because they're opposite types of learners. So my youngest, he's that traditional learner. I have him come in and I say, pick out what you want to do first. He comes, he sits, he's focused, and he starts his work and gets going. Now my ADHD child, I will not have him sit and do work immediately. I will have him do something around the house physical, or I will start him actually on a tablet with his Spelling City or some of his online math or reading type things to kind of help transition him into the traditional work setting. So I have 2 kiddos doing 2 different things because they are different types of learners, and that's okay. So when I have my oldest on the tablet, he's kind of independent off to the side, and then I can focus on my youngest, and when he has questions, I say, come check in with me when you're done. If you have a question, I can answer his question and be devoted to him one-on-one and give him that attention that he needs. So then when it's time to switch, maybe that's when my youngest is done. Maybe it's been a good 30, 45 minutes and I'm like, guys, it's time for you to, stop. It's okay to say it's break time. And then we will switch. And I'll have my oldest, hey, go off, do something on your own. You can use a tablet exercise type of game, read on your own, that kind of thing. And then I will sit with my oldest and he and I will start to read in his social studies book, or he'll choose to do math first, and I will help and be there by his side to kind of check in and out with him. Now, I do make a rule that if I'm working with one child, the other child cannot interrupt. And if you need to check in with me, then you need to wait. You cannot interrupt. So that is really, really important in teaching respect. As far as the school day, my kids typically start their school day 8:05 to 3:05. So we try to stay around that time. We'll say school starts in, like 10 minutes, guys. So let's finish our breakfast. Let's get kind of started with getting our supplies and everything. So I do traditionally keep with that because that's what they're used to. At 3:05, we're done for the day. And then whatever they've earned, they can go and play. They can then have video games and that kind of fun stuff like they would during the regular day. So I hope that maybe these ideas will be a little bit helpful for you. Again, you can do whatever works best for you, but you'll definitely need some type of check-in system or schedule of some type, or a list. Check off the list. Remember to give lots of positive praise because this is hard for all of us. And allow for recess, allow for that lunch recess. There's a reason that it's in there. And allow for quiet time. Teachers have quiet reading time during their day. Allow for that for you and for them. Let them snuggle with a stuffed animal, or get inside a tent, make a little tent fort or something where they can cuddle up and just have quiet time. If they want to write or draw or read, listen to a book on a Kindle or something. So incorporate those things for yourself to have a break and for them to have a break too. And remember, every day is going to be different, and all you can do is your best. And hang in there. I'll see you next time. Bye.